All right, everybody. This is Jim Haig, and I have an amazing guest, one of my favorite people on the whole planet. I'm telling you, this lady, I'm telling you, she can run around. She can run around the block several times, and I mean, she is. I'm not going to say her age. She's going to say it for me. Pink Lady of Hollywood. How are you?
Absolutely fabulous. Can it get
Okay.
me better than that? No, no.
The most
I,
important question of the day.
yes,
How young are you?
okay. I turned, and say I feel like I'm a pancake, this really done pancake. I will be turning 93 years young in 2 days.
Not 93. Did you hear that, all you people in bed?
Yeah, get out of the bed and I have to tell you, I tell people, watch this. I tell people, this is my book. I tell people, get out of bed, get out of the rocking chair, and get up, get out, and get a life. There you are.
One more time. Get up.
Get up, get up,
Get a life. Oh,
and
man.
get a life.
I love that.
And because you deserve it. You see, a
Absolutely.
lot of people, Jim, don't think they deserve it. That's the problem.
By the way, for those who are watching, you don't have to adjust your color. You don't have to adjust your screen. That's her hair, okay? If you see pink, you're not delusional. You're not on drugs.
That's me. Pink lipstick, pink little checkered over here, and definitely with the pink hair. Yes.
So let's go back to way back when you were in your. How did you get the name Pink Lady?
Okay. Well, first of all, before we even get that,
Okay.
people ask me, what do I owe this longevity to?
Good
And I
question.
say two things. Okay. A positive attitude and lots of gratitude. One without the other does not work.
So we got. Looks like we got a little frozen.
That's together. Jim, every one of your fabulous, wonderful people that are out there have to know that they also have an attitude. Now, do you know where my attitude came from?
I can
I
only imagine.
remember the day and the moment. And here it is.
Okay.
4 years old, a little towhead little girl with a pink Parker, blue jeans on, holding my mother, who was pregnant 8 months, hand in Boston, pouring rain, going down to see my dad, who was in the hospital. And the bus stops. And my mother and I are standing there, her with a big belly, me with the rain coming down, little girl, 4 years old. And the bus driver leans out and he goes, "Excuse me, but if you come on this bus, ma'am, you and the little one are going to have to stand." And I dropped my mother's hand. I mean, I was precocious. Dropped my mother's hand, jumped onto the stairwell of the bus, put my hands on my hip, and I said, "Excuse me, but isn't there a gentleman on this bus who let a lady sit down?" 3 men got up. And that day, my persona, my phenomenal attitude of letting no one rain on my parade became
Wow. That is amazing. That is.
And all of you, everybody has it too. Everybody.
There was a
They just
different
don't
world back then.
find it.
I mean, wasn't like what 1930 something like that?
And I was born in 1932.
32.
So 4 years later was 1936.
Wow. Okay.
It was right after my mother and dad got married at 16, had me right away, and they were right in the middle of, 1931, which was, as you know, the really tough time in America.
Yeah, that's the Great Depression time.
It was. And all this time, I believe, it's very funny, but I was 17 when I got married. I mean, hello, that's what you did in those days.
Mhm.
You graduated high school. I was 17 and a half. My grandmother looked at me and said, "Do you have a boyfriend? Are we going to have a wedding?" And I said, not yet. Within 1 month, she must have put a spell on me or something. 1 month, I met a Navy man who had been in the Navy in World War II. And we got married, and I was just turning 18. And I was happy and fine. And within 6 years, 7 years, I had 3 kids.
Phew, you were
And
busy.
everything was great. And then he died.
Oh,
He died of the wound from the war
oh, he's a
on
veteran.
Okinawa. And that was where my second thing that I tell people about. You can either be a victim in life or you can be what I call a survivor. And I chose to be a survivor. And that's what I talk about to people, is the difference between the two of those. And that's what got me to the age I am, with all the stories and things that we can go in a couple here and there. But it's being a survivor. And looking in the mirror, and you're going to laugh now, Jim. I look in the mirror every day and I say to that mirror, hey there, not bad for a young broad.
I
love
totally
who you
agree.
are.
You look amazing. And of course that was a devastating time for you.
Yes, it was. Yes,
And
it
especially
was.
with 3 children to
Right.
be able
Under eight. Under eight.
yeah, and that time women weren't really considered, I guess, as important as they are now.
You are
But
so right.
women had a much more difficult time,
Correct.
and but yet here you are, and I'm sure your kids are grateful for that.
Well, I was lucky to have a young mother and dad. As I said, they got married at 16, so they were young when I had my 3 children. And they said to me, okay, you need to get out into the world. I said, you're right. So I became a manicurist.
Manicurist?
A manicurist
Okay.
in a beauty salon because I could work. I worked on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I was off Friday, Saturday, and it was great. The cutest story is that I went to a beauty school, got my manicure license, but while I was doing that, there was a fabulous restaurant and on the La Cienega Boulevard here in Hollywood, and it was called Delmonico's, and it was owned by Earl Scheib. Remember the paint guy?
Yeah, yeah. Wow.
Okay,
Oh,
Earl Scheib owned this restaurant.
You've told me this story before.
Right. And I was the hostess with the mostest. And I went to school with some very they're now famous actors and actresses, but they were also going on to get manicure licenses and barbering to help them through the school and through the years to get their jobs. Anyway, after I was, graduated and everything, my mother and dad said, okay, you got to find a husband. So there was a place called Highland Springs. All I'm telling you, everyone, is that you got to keep going in life. You got to find a way to make you happy. There was a place called Highland Springs for singles, and I went there. And I met my second husband, who had 2 children. Wow. So here are 3 from me, 2 from him. We now had 5. We had the Goldberg bunch, not the Brady bunch.
One shy of the Brady bunch, I was going to say.
And he was a salesman for women's wear. And he looked at me and my personality and he said, you know what? Remember, I wasn't Pink Lady then. I was just Jackie Goldberg.
Right.
And he looked at me and he said, you know what? You are full of personality. You should be a salesperson because they're going to love you. And so I became a saleswoman of women's wear clothing. And the audience, which was my buyers, and when they gave me an order, that was my applause. So when I really got into the business, one day I was walking down, everybody knows in Hollywood called, it was downtown LA, the Garment District.
Okay.
And I was walking down the hallway. I wore every kind of clothes in the world. I had blonde hair. And someone yelled out, hey, lady, pink lady, because I was wearing a pink outfit at that day.
Oh, there you go.
And my late husband was a marketing genius. And he said, come here. You are going to be now the pink lady of the mart. And everyone's going to know you. Within 6 months, there was a huge sign on my glass showroom. Walter P. Goldberg and Associates, starring the Pink Lady. Within another 6 months, there was nobody in the business that didn't know who I was. And then I did the smartest thing, Jim. I took that persona and I brought it into my personal life.
Oh.
So now I was the Pink Lady personally and in business. So when my first grandchild was born, you know how you say, what are you going to call me? Grandma what? Grandpa what? Well, that was easy. I was Pink Grandma.
Pink grandma. Okay.
And now, so I have 6 grandchildren, and I have now 11 great grandchildren
All
who
right.
all call me Pink Grandma.
Nice.
You know, your beginning sentences, Jim, are so true. There are so many people that are up in age that are alive and well, and then there are others who start at 50 and 60 who think it's over. What have I got to live for? And they are just starting life. And if you are 70 and 80 now, you better get up and get out and get that life you deserve. Because today's world, you are the important one. You have so much experience and things to tell people. You have so many stories. You yourselves should be out there. And I tell people, call me, talk to me, tell me why you're not out there. I have a friend of mine, she just turned 88, vibrant, phenomenal. When she turned 88, she called me and said, Pink, I think it's over. I said, excuse me? This was last year. I said, you have a whole career ahead of you. She's a singer. All of a sudden, she started to sing again. She just now got an agent at 89.
Wow, that's incredible. So you see,
You
it's
know,
impossible.
it is
very
impossible. It's Jim, you are a baby. We talked about age-wise. And but you keep at what you do. And you keep interesting. And you, I know, can look in the mirror every day and say, hey, not bad for a man of whatever. And that's what's important.
So let me ask you this, okay? So you were into the motivational business. You were in the theater business. So at what point did you feel there was a need for your services, to inspire the senior population? And I want you to talk about that part of your life where you wrote books, you invited people to your home, you went on lectures, and then at the same time you produced theater starring senior. That to me is the most unbelievable creme de la creme part of your life, that you give seniors a chance to be in the limelight.
Well, here we go. So, second husband died. I was 72. Now, I wasn't 25 or 27 anymore. 72. I'd been a sales rep for 39 years, very successful, and I had a great time. And suddenly I looked in the mirror and I said, hey, wait a minute. You are a manicurist. You're a salesman person for 39 years. I'm done. I need another career. So at that moment, someone said to me, why don't you go into the senior pageant? And I went, oh, yeah. See, who goes to senior pageant? No way. And she said, no. All my friends said, you got to go. So I went into the Miss LA senior pageant. Now, I was 73 at the time. It was a year later. And I wore a little pink gown. I thought I was like adorable, right? And all these other ladies, when I went to the senior pageant, the day of the pageant, they were 70, 80, and 90. They were wearing cleavage down to here and gold and silver. And they were out there, singers and opera singers and dancers. And here I come. And I don't sing. I don't dance. I do talk. So my thing was, it was a monologue. And it was called To Be or Not to Be? No Way. To Age or Not to Age. That is the question. Right. So I did that, right? Now, they said, everybody, there were 18 of us. Now, being the tiniest one, I was at the end. So they were saying, who won, right? The room had about 750, 800 people. This is a cute story. So now I'm edging off the stage because now they're saying our third runner-up is Jane Jones. And Jane comes out, gorgeous, saying thank you, thank you. Now I'm like on the first step. We're all wearing mics, by the way. And now the second runner-up is Joni Lamar. Joni Lamar comes out, wonderful. Now I'm down on the third step. It's done. And now our winner of Ms. Senior L.A. County is none other than the most wild, fabulous, exciting, energetic lady, the Pink Lady. And now I go, oh, shit. We're into a microphone. 750 people stood up and cheered. Wow. Now, my picture became in the paper, and an agent, Steve Stevens, who was one of the Mickey Mouse young actors in his time, was an agent, called me up and said, I love your picture. I love your story. I do not have an older woman. I was at that time 73, 74. I don't have an older woman, which he calls older, which kills me because I don't think 70s is old. And he said, I would love to have you in my group. So I said, fabulous. Okay. He said, bring a headshot. Let's meet. Okay. I get a headshot and I go and I'm in his office and he says, first, let me allay any thoughts you might have of something. I said, what's that? Well, we don't have any more couches. Now, if your audience doesn't know, years ago, it was thought that when you were a young actress, you had to sleep with the casting agent in order for him to get you pictures. Now, Steve Stevens is smiling and he goes, we don't have any more. And I took my picture back. I said, that's what I came here for. Yeah. And he said, you know what? With that attitude, you're going to make it in the theater. And I became an actor.
Nice.
And I did a lot of different pictures. I now have a new picture coming out, everybody. It's called Saving Buddy Charles.
Saving Buddy Charles.
Buddy Charles. That's coming out in the fall.
Nice.
And I play this wild lady with pink clothes and pink hair. And I'm having the best time of my life.
Well, you're playing yourself.
Yes, I am. That's exactly what I do now. All the parts that I try out for and get, I did another one, a Latino one called The Bag, B-A-G, The Bag Boys. That's also coming out in the fall.
Latino.
And then a new one that I did that's already out is called I'm Doing Fine.
You are.
What I'm saying, Jim, is to all the people out there, enjoy the life that you have.
That is so right.
Because you're given a present every day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Every day.
Absolutely, every day. And I am so grateful that we reconnected and here you are telling this audience about just the value of life in general. And it's so important for young people because, I'm a teacher. And I deal with 14 to 18-year-olds on a daily basis. And a lot of them are already spelling defeat. So I'm going to show them this podcast, this video cast. And just hey, here's a 93-year-old Wonder Woman.
No, 93-year young.
93 years young. Yeah, I got to correct that. And here it is. And if she doesn't have any, look, you're making movies. You're producing theater.
I'm also doing motivational speaking. I love this. Two of the things, and if anybody wants me, I'll give you my number and email at the end. But I just did for Daughters of the American Revolution. I just did a motivational, and it was called The Woman You Are, You Create, the person you are.
That's beautiful.
And it's by the choices you make. And then the other one that I love, it's a new one, is called It Ain't Over Till I or You Say It's Over.
Beautiful. Daughters of the Revolution. Are they still around?
Yeah. Oh, my goodness, yes. Oh.
Is that horrible for me to say?
I got to tell you something. How many people out there, how many of your audience has already made their will, their celebration of life, The whole thing.
Uh,
Not
a few of
many.
them. No,
Okay.
well, past 70, quite a few of them, yeah.
Right. But they haven't done the celebration of life.
Oh, no, that's
So I
interesting.
have already done, listen to this,
Uh,
not only the celebration of life,
mhm.
but I went out, and you normally can't do this. I'll tell you how I did it. I went out to 8 quarries, the marble stone, okay? And it's pinkish with little black dots, okay? And I had it engraved. Now, 90%, 99% of people, you cannot do that
Mhm.
because you need an ending date. Now, here's what I did. Are you ready, everyone?
I can't wait.
Jacqueline? No, that was the other one. There was two that I did, and I chose the other one. Here we go. The Pink Lady, Jacqueline H. Goldberg, wife, mother, pink grandma, and great grandma. It ain't over till I say it's over.
I love it.
September 3rd, 1932. Here's where I got away with it with the cemetery. To the infinity sign.
Wow.
Infinity. Other than that, you can't do it because you're not dead.
Yeah,
Because they have no date.
that is so cool.
And I thought, you know what? I believe that everyone out there should really and truly get a life, no matter what your age is. At 14, you've got the world ahead of you. My God, what I would do at 14. And at 18, what a beautiful. I'm a Jewish religion, and 18 we call it chai. 18 means to life. So when we drink a drink, we drink to life on the increments of 18, 36, and all that. At 18, my dear young men and women, what a life you have ahead of you. You can have 3, 4 careers. Never mind anything else. You can have 3 and 4 full careers because at the end of your lifetime, you'll be in your hundreds with a good body and your mind. And that's what I envy. Because in 30, 40, 50 years, a 93-year young person, 95, will not only have their brains, but their body will be well. Because that's what deteriorates in us at this stage.
Uh-huh. Okay.
And our minds, thank you, God, my mind is okay. But so many aren't. And within those number of years, people will be living so long, and you at 14 and 18 will have a chance to live so many exciting, phenomenal lives.
It's really amazing because the secret to your life, I can tell, is that you keep active. You still do what you
Yes,
love to do.
yes,
And
yes.
so therefore, every day has a purpose.
Well, now, and Jim, if something goes, I have MD, macular degeneration, which means that I can see you, but the script that I was working on before for doing audition, my partner had to make 24. Now, I take that script at 24. I don't get it at 24, I get it lower. And that's how I learn my lines. Now, when I have to, I'll do it 26 or 30. Who cares?
Yeah.
Who cares? It's keep going.
As long as you get it done.
Now, I go to the gym 5 times a week. I learned to do this, not shake hands. You go like that. Everybody in the gym, I go, if they know the gym and the treadmill, I go up the treadmill 15, the highest you can go. I go 3.0 miles an hour. Now you go a lot. You go below
back
that.
to the treadmill. You
All
go
right.
way up there?
3.0.
Kidding me. Now
And I go 35 minutes.
Oh my God. Now I feel
I know.
I can't. I don't even go a half an inch.
But everybody, the gym is a fun place. By the way, the gym is a great place for social media, to be social with people. And everybody will come over to me and they'll say, hey, Pink Lady, look at you. And how do you do it? And I tell them, just a positive attitude, with loving life and wanting each day to be exciting.
Mhm.
And what I say, Jim, my purpose in life now is to take every day and take one person and make that one person feel better. Get that feeling that there is a life out there for them.
Well, today I'm that one person. Me.
When I started my shows on Senior Star Power, these were shows, everyone, that you had to be 60 years young or older. So I had 60, 70, 80, 90. I had one 100 who came in as a cameo role. These were all Broadway and Hollywood stars who at first thought it was over at that age. And when they were in my show, they got agents afterwards. Jojo Malva was in Disney. He stopped working at 62. I got him at 64. He's still working at 79 now.
That's fantastic.
My point is, you have to know to put a hand out. And if you see someone that needs a little bit of energy, that needs a little bit of, hey, you can do it. You don't stop having a musical voice at 61 if you turn 62. I mean, common sense says that you still have your talent, your creativity. You're a teacher. You have other things that you do with a talent and energy that I think is fabulous. That's what the world needs. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure you tell your students about that.
Yeah, I do. I try. But I would imagine that your audience needs you way more because, I mean, my audience is at the beginning and they can be changed and manipulated and they move forward. But your audience is pretty much at the very end, the sunset of their lives. And yet they kind of stopped years before that. But you said no.
No.
It ain't over until it's over.
Because it's true. And also the positive attitude. I know so many people, and I did something that I never thought I would do. I had a friend of mine for like 30 years. Every week we would call, hello, until it got to the point that when I called him, it was, how you doing, Eddie? And he'd go, I don't know, Pink. It's like, and finally I said, Eddie, I'm going to call you one more time. And if you pick up that phone and your attitude and your whole demeanor is down, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to call you again.
Wow.
And he was kidding. And I called her and said, hi, Eddie, how you doing? Oh, Pink, I have to tell you, 6 months after I did that, I get a call. Hey, Pink, it's Eddie. Hi, Eddie, how are you? I'm doing fine, thanks to you. When you hung up on me, I started crying because I adore you. And then I said, why am I crying? What did she just do? She hung up on not me, but what I had become.
Wow.
Now is teaching in his home, piano, and he has a life.
Nice.
My point is that that's what you want to go for. Everyone out there. And I know that you're hearing the younger ones must understand, because if they look at someone older and they see someone down, that's going to affect them. But if they see someone like myself that's up there, that loves life, that gets up in the morning and says, thank you for another day. At 93, I know at 100 I'm going to be doing this.
That's right. That is so right, because I need to be exactly what they envision. I have to be it myself. And you are obviously already there, because now I'm actually feeling good about being 93 or 94 years young. Now I'm like, okay, bring
I kidded you when you told me your age. I said, you got a lifetime ahead of you, for goodness sakes.
It's really inspirational. So how is, I guess you were in a business called Senior Star Power. What are you doing right now? What's going on with you right now?
Right now, I have a great agent, JT Thornton of the Library Agency. I've done the 3 movies this year. I did 2 last year. I did a commercial. I did something for Sun. I've done motivational speaking throughout the years, like I haven't stopped. I go to the gym. I have the 11 great grandkids. My partner is a Vietnam Air Force chaplain for 63 years. He
Wow.
belongs to the Hollywood American Legion. I now am a Legion member because all my husbands were at military. I'm now an auxiliary member, and I'm now our project is. Do you ever hear of CalVet? CalVet is a home that we have here in LA for military men and women who have nowhere to go. And there's about 200 of them, and we bring entertainment to them. And I'm a volunteer there, and that's my project. And they are fabulous. I mean, I walk in, they go, "Hey, Pink, how you doing?" And they're all up there, and they all served their country. And I also did a PSA for my very dear friend Shad Meshad, who, as a medic in Vietnam, coined the phrase PTSD with a doctor. His company is called National Foundation, Veteran Foundation. And I did a PSA for them that's still running. So everyone look for National Veteran Foundation PSA Pink Lady.
Okay.
And give to them. I tell people, when you write your will, you write to the dog park and you write to the other thing. Put in a veteran organization. Without them, we would not be here to do this today.
And I think that is absolutely true. So, well, Pink Lady, we are at the 30-minute mark, and I have to say, I absolutely loved this interview. Please tell me you'll come on again in the future.
Oh, and you know what? Jim, I've always admired the spunk you have. I also admired all the ways in which you want to help others. And I say to you and your lovely family, may God give you another 60 years, 70, which is you're going to turn the world upside down by different things. And you know what? All your students are lucky. So I would, in fact, one day I'd like to come out and talk to them.
Okay. Okay. And you know what? I'm lucky because to have you as my one of my mentors and one of my motivational. So, well, with that, Pink Lady, ladies and gentlemen, the Pink Lady of Hollywood, her amazing life and everything she does, and she's not done yet. So don't count her out. She is not done yet.
No
If
way.
you're seeing more of her, go see her movies. I'll have all the information on the website and on the podcast information. So with that being said, this is Mr. Haig podcast with the Pink Lady of Hollywood, and we're gonna fist bump on the way out. You fist bump.
Yes.
We're gonna fist bump there. Goodbye. Okay. All right. Thank you, Pink Lady.